Mm-hmm.
Let me piggyback off Barrett's question because it just popped into my head. Do either of you feel the pressure that Barrett and I've talked about it a little bit, the pressure of being ambassadors for the monolith that is the Black community? When you go into these places, it's like, ooh, we've heard about them and seen them on the news. And is there a pressure to, okay, let's allow them to ease into this situation of, holy shit, Black people are people too? Or is that you're just going to be you and you're likable, and people that aren't going to like you aren't going to like you anyway? Or what does that go through your head? Is that a pressure, or is that a shit, now I'm representing the entire Black community, fuck, I have to, any of those thoughts?
Boy, it's like that for me every day of my life. That's my walk every day, whether I'm performing, whether I'm going into a supermarket, whether I'm going into a clothing store. I always go in with the mindset that I can't look big. I can't, I even when I talk to people, I start out very soft voice because I have a booming voice, and I'm a big, bald Black dude walking into a business. That could scare the shit out of a lot of people. So
well,
when
they
I
think
go
you're
in, I joke
Knight.
with them. Right, exactly.
When did he get out
I
of
will
jail?
hang you out the window by your ankles, type of thing. But I do. I speak very softly. I joke with them. I smile. And it's not a, some kind of routine step and fetch it type of thing.
Affectation.
I understand that, right, that people can be fearful, especially now in this climate where you don't know what you could say to set someone off. So I'm always joking with people. When I'm in a restaurant, I kid with the wait staff, and I leave a big tip because I've heard, oh, I don't like serving Black people because they don't tip well.
Oh, it's
I
out
do
there.
feel
That's one of the,
sometimes.
yep, that's a stereotype. That's a rumor. That's a
Yeah.
thing.
So I do feel in a lot of ways that I have to represent my clique.
Generally, when Barrett's light starts falling over, we realize we've made God angry, and that's a signal.
Well, one of the things I'll say this, because what you're saying, it's actually a fascinating thing because I understand it completely. I think it's a weird holdover from caste and shit like that. It's also a weird holdover from like old racist practices, right? Like the reason why I subconsciously feel like I speak for all Black people is because black dudes used to get murdered for shit other Black dudes did, right? All the time.
Right.
Right? It was like a regular thing. Like we don't know who did it, so we'll get you'll do, right? So there's this feeling of like if I do something wrong, somebody else might actually have to pay for it in a way that is really heinous, right? So there is that. But I also think that's fucking ridiculous that I have to live my life that way, right? I do something similar to what you do. I'm not 6'1". I'm not even 6'1" in heels. And with a fro out like
Barrett's
Fletch.
diminutive.
Right. Yes, exactly. I'm my model height is 5'8", you know. um, but I do something very similar, right? Like I look down, my voice goes up. Hey, how you doing? Right? My head goes to like I become really not threatening because, and again, it's a holdover from this place of like, if white people were uncomfortable, it could be dangerous, right? Like it was a dangerous situation if I made someone uncomfortable. That could like any glance could get you murdered, and maybe not me, but my father for sure. Any glance would have gotten him murdered. So he taught me that behavior. My grandfather, for damn sure. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he couldn't, if he didn't say sir after something, he could get killed. Right? Like just the absurdity of the way it is. And I feel like some of that stuff gets taught. So to answer your question, Nathan, yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like I understand that Black people are not a monolith, but I understand that we get treated like one.